So the good news is, I think Labour is going to do pretty well. I think going out and about and talking to people, the polls, I think, are reflecting where people are. So that is a positive. And I think Labour has actually selected some really, really good candidates. So that's the positive. The big but is people in Scotland, and I think it's probably true across the country, but definitely my weekend in Scotland, are as depressed about politics as they are about the football. There was this big, big feeling. The dominant theme of everyone I spoke to, and I must have spoken to like loads and loads of people over the weekend, just ordinary people, door knocking, but also people in the street. They were saying, I probably will end up voting for Labour because it's the lesser of two evils. And I get that I want a change. But the overall view, Sam, and I think this is something, we get very excited about politics and we're very excited about change. And I do, of course, think that a Labour government will be a good thing for this country. But a lot of the people I spoke to, the levels of despair and disillusionment and having no confidence in politics at all. Loads of people said they hadn't decided. Loads of people said they weren't even going to bother voting. And I kept hearing this phrase all the time, you're all the same. Yes, I think Keir Starmer is going to become leader, but I don't think anybody can change my life. And I think this not even apathy, just this absolute despair in the state of politics is a real thing.
And I think, we can talk about it as being apathy or cynicism. It's not unreasonable to feel like that when none of the parties are talking about the really big, scary things that are coming down the line for people. Labour have decided, understandably, to play it really safe in this campaign. It's working for them. They'll win big. But in doing that, they are, playing it safe. They're not talking about what it would really take to fix the NHS or, the tax rises that might be needed to fix other public services. They're not talking about immigration very much, which is the subject of our episode today. So it's not really surprising that people feel like that. I think a lot of people who are very interested in politics still feel a bit like that. And it's certainly true what you're talking about, sort of experiencing on the doorstep is, I've sat in a number of focus groups this election and every one of them, regardless of where it is in the country or whether it's sort of former Tories or people interested in reform or whoever, that mood is coming across so strongly.
And I think one of the things, we've been discussing a lot in this podcast is, what Labour needs to do to change this country for the better. And we've talked a lot about policy, and policy is going to be really, really important. But coming back from my weekend, something that's really playing heavily on my mind is Labour. It's really important for Labour to try and do something to restore a bit of trust in politics as well, which is going to be really difficult. And I think even though Labour may well get a really, really big win, it would be a really big mistake. And I don't think Keir Starmer will do this or Sue Gray or the people around him. I think they are smarter than that. And I think they know they've picked up on this feeling as well. I don't think there can be any sense of, oh, let's be really triumphant and we are amazing and we've won big and, hurrah, hurrah. I think going in with that understanding that the people of this country feel so low about politics that should really guide how they implement their policy and how they prioritize things.
It's not going to be a new dawn has broken, has it not? We're not going to get any of that. I mean, it will definitely be, it will be more somber than that. And I think what's absolutely critical is that they are able to achieve some things quite quickly, not necessarily the massive things that we need to change the state, but fixing the doctor strike is a really obvious one. If you can get that done in the first month or two, just a few things to create a bit of momentum and give people a bit of optimism. Because the sort of advantage of expectations being so low is that it's not difficult to exceed them. So I think if they can build up a bit of momentum, they still have a chance of having a bit of a honeymoon, although obviously honeymoons never last, but to get a bit of momentum. If they get swamped by crises, that won't happen.